So this is where the pagans experimented with the plague. The reason why there were a lot of Redanimo followers turned into life slaves was this. Let's move out with caution. But where is Lewin? I can't believe it, but I think Lewin got lost again. How did Verder make it with Lewin until now? This place is like a maze, so you should be careful not to get lost. If you happen to find Lewin, please look after him. I'll keep an eye out too.
Rune Hunter, a plague variant that became a life slave, has dragged my fellow knights away. Ruthless. To the forest without even having please defeat the monsters and avenge our friends.
I'm saved! I was about to give up hope of seeing anyone again. You remember, I made it to the camp without anyone's help, and I didn't expect to find myself lost in this maze. Oh, I was told the Dex is at the baptism room. Let's get going.
Life slaves under Dex's command were too strong. I am both sad and angry. How come my strength is never enough?
think I'm sorry that I couldn't do better.
Why are you making that face? I thought you would be happy to see me. Please don't think ill of me. I was only being faithful to the memory Aki gave me. At least my actions were truly based on the memories of the actual princes. Is there anything more important than memory when you're trying to steal someone's fate? I think it's a much better standard compared to appearances, which can change. Don't you agree? Well, in that sense, there is nothing worth believing in this world. Just like the 12 beings of Tron that are said to have created this world. Evil cannot have children once it's born, or so they say. How does that even make sense when I already exist? Don't you think it's time to accept the facts? The light of the 12 gods. Just because I was born from its dark side, I was split into two. Just like the princes who were split because of the conflicts within the Triad Kingdom that seemed peaceful on the outside. You will also realize it one day, Zodiac Walker. That the light you had believed in this horrendous world, was in fact the void all along.
They say Aki and Dex are at the Constellation of Authority together. No wonder they disappeared so weak. They say Salvus already left for the Constellation of Authority.
Kristen rallied the remaining knights and followed after Salvus. And the rune hunters seemed very tense before the fight. I know there really isn't much I can do right now, except stay by your side. But I just wish I could do anything to help you out. So, if you have anything to ask of me, just tell me. I'm done with my preparations, so we can leave whenever you're ready.
Rune Hunter, we will handle things here. Make haste to the Constellation of Authority. Salvus is facing Aki and Dex all alone. He may be the Zodiac Master, but his opponent is the Evil God. They absorb the tears of God to become perfect. With that power, they will attempt to merge as one. We've already lost so much, we cannot lose any more. This is not an order, but a request. From now on, do not let anything go easily.
Be careful! I'm fine. I'll look after Pan for now. Hurry. The 13th being, the Serpens, must be stopped.
We will meet again soon.
You did well, Rune Hunter. This should put a stop to the Serpens issue. But it would be foolish to only celebrate the victory at hand without knowing when evil will revive again. So, head to the village named Saluto, near Advina. In the past, there was a device built to advance the Zodiacs. It is said that it was designed to materialize the abstract concepts of the Zodiacs into reality. With the device, one will be able to understand the Zodiacs and gain combat experience at the same time. Now, prepare yourself to go on a new journey. Let us meet again, even stronger than we are now.
Pan's breathing normally now, but he's still unconscious. I believe my powers are not enough to look after Pan. Why don't we seek out the doctors of Artemis? Talk to me after you take care of your business in Bellatus. I'll make the necessary preparations.
With Serpens gone, the red moon in the sky disappeared. Corpses that turned into life slaves lost their strength and started to collapse. Kristen announced the location of Saluto and the Zodiac development device to all rune hunters of the Trom via the Rune Hunter Guildmaster, Camilla. Since then, Saluto had an influx of adventurous rune hunters surging in to take on the challenge. Yet, the whispers of Serpens still linger within you. Although you still do not fully understand what it could mean, you sense that your journey has not reached its end just yet.
The soul of serpents consume...
Kristen informed you that serpent... At the request of Nestle, whom you met on Blizzard Hill, you rescued Graether from life slaves. But Graether said that Nestle was a long-dead friend, and there was no way Nestle could have asked you for help. You felt... When Knight Zaid delivered the lost scouting log to Hamas, Hamas expressed his gratitude, but seemed to feel distressed because a reconnaissance job that could cost him his life was approaching. You wanted to give him courage. Danny, from the Advina residence, said he was worried about you ever since you left. Danny later asked you to come to Advina once you finished your job, and gave you some useful stuff, treating you as a brother. Following Wincell's advice, you went around the extension lot and helped the villagers who were unable to evacuate. They all sincerely thanked you, and you were glad. The knight, who was wounded and moaning in the baptism room, asked you to avenge his friend. You followed his instructions to slay the life slave plague. Kristen, who joined the Rune Hunters in Advina, seemed to have cleared up a misunderstanding after hearing their story about you. He said he was moving to prevent the resurrection of serpents, and asked you to join in as well. You defeated the revived King Ulden under the guidance of the Aphros Knights. The King Ulden had the Tears of God that had lost its light, and you were at a loss as to how to accept a sight you saw for the first time. You went to the Advina Cliffs with Salvis, and found that Queen Ramalda, who had become a life slave, also had the Tears of God. Salvis saw this phenomenon and said that the militia captain who had the Tears of God must... Salvis said that the reason the militia captain absorbed the Tears of God through Ulden and Ramalda was because he was a soul of serpents who could not accept the power of the 12 beings. He told you about what he experienced during the Bellatus expedition 10 years ago. The 2 souls of serpents that awakened when Salvis completed the Zodiac were preparing for resurrection. When you heard the news that Weeper was found in the expansion base, you rushed to find the child, and you came face to face with the shocking truth. Weeper was actually a key, one of the souls of serpents, and he had been planning to deceive you since the beginning, when you met him as Prince Lavia in Calicorda. You spit cold venom towards yourself and felt deep sorrow looking at a key who had turned into a monster. After a key, Dex was found in the baptism room. You became angry as you faced Dex, who had been deceiving you all along. But Dex showed a peculiar smile at your reaction, and claimed that it was unfair for the 12 beings of Trom to persecute him. You felt strange hearing Dex's enigmatic words. Aki and Dex, whom everyone thought had disappeared, became one in the constellation of authority, albeit in an incomplete form. In the process, Pan and Salvis were wounded while trying to save you, and you thought you should fight with all you've got for them. Serpens lost focus from your attack and was scattered back into the world, but you could feel Serpens was not completely gone. Kristen told you about Saludo's Zodiac development device, which allows one to enter the Zodiac space and gain experience. He seemed to want you and many other rune hunters to gain experience and improve skills in preparation for the return of Serpens. Meanwhile, Salvis mentioned he would like to take the unconscious...
I had heard that the rune hunters from all over Trom were flocking to this place, and it turned out to be true. As they say, where there are people, there's money to... My friend should have arrived with the stuff by now, but I don't know where they are. If you see merchants appear, can you let him know?
I'm here on the order of Captain Kristen to tidy up the area. So, I have a question for you. Aphras, Ordemus, and whatnot. In addition, Tria seems to be divided into Tri and Laia, the names that were used before the unification. But the Zodiac space is separate from Trom. Is there any reason why they're named like... Despite how I look, once I'm interested, I need to find out all there is to know. Can you help?
If you want to know that, you have to understand that the Chaos Dungeons were built around the Zodiac. As you know from the experience with the Zodiac, it is centered around the 12 primal beings. Based on what I've investigated so far, each of the Chaos Dungeons is affected by one of the 12 gods. By the way, each nation of Trom also believes in each of the 12 gods, right? As a result, each Chaos Dungeon naturally belongs to the 11 nations of Trom.
Oh, that's why. Finally, the question is answered. If so, the war currently taking place with Rune Hunters can be regarded as sort of a conflict between nations. Though the Zodiac space doesn't really exist, it's always better to have more resources. Anyway, this is great. I can focus on my work now. It bothered me so much that I couldn't concentrate.
I was worried because it was my first time in Bellatus, but it's much nicer than I imagined. Well, the more people gather, the more organized the surroundings become. Enon? That reminds me, we were supposed to meet up. I was completely distracted watching the people. I must go quickly. Thanks for letting me know.
So this is the rumored Chaos statue. It's a lot more impressive than I had imagined. I've been told that this statue started a war in the past. I need to learn about the circumstances behind why it happened. Anyway, I decided to take the news about this Chaos statue to Trom. But is there anyone that can tell me about the sightings? Rune Hunter, as you're aware, articles with comments from trusted people increase its credibility.
It's been a while. I don't know if you remember me, but I've been following you ever since Advena, although it seems you had no idea. I came to a realization when you showed up again at the Pilgrim's Cave, that there's something I must give you before it's too late. I know you don't trust me because I'm with the Redanimo, but can you please listen to me just this once? We should continue this conversation in private. I'll be waiting for you. So follow me if you trust me. This is a private laboratory that was assigned to me by the Redanimo. Relax. The place is safe for now. Most of the other pagans became life slaves for the One's resurrection. I never believed any of that talk about eternal life, but to think it was actually possible. But now that the red moon has set, I'm sure they have all entered an eternity of slumber, including Ildrit, Anon, and everyone else who brushed past me. Until now, I've been helping the Repenters escape from the watchful eyes of the Redanimo by making up excuses about carrying out their plague experiments. And I've been using a relic to awaken those who have forgotten about the divinity. Here, I'll give you this relic. Why don't you take a look at it? If you have any questions about relics, I suggest you try talking with some of the other Repenters residing here.
So, you must be the Rune Hunter that Leitre mentioned. That relic you're holding is something that I brought over from Traum. It was for those who wouldn't believe in the 12 gods without definite proof of their existence. That relic was created in Traum through the consecration of the clergies. It was designed to condense the power of the 12 gods and materialize divinity itself. It is said that only those who swear their lives to one of the 12 gods and practice asceticism are given the right to perform the consecration. That is why you need 12 priests to create a single relic. In other words, one relic is able to materialize the power of all 12 gods. Why don't you try summoning the avatar of the 12 gods with that relic? Then you'll realize, too, that the 12 gods do exist.
Leitre claims that the red moon has gone down already, but it feels strange. It's as if the revived pagans could return at any moment. You may know this already, but the concept of life began with the 12 gods, which means that the one the pagans await cannot create life. So it's actually a paradoxical claim when the people of Traum refer to those who have been blessed by the One as life slaves. Even the lives that currently exist in Bellatus were originally created by the 12 gods. It's just that they desired the eternal life that the One promised, just as I did in the past. As proof of their origin from the 12 gods, every living organism in this world carries the light of life, which is essentially divinity itself. The divinity from the light of life can be condensed by offering it to a relic, and that condensed divinity will grant great power in the name of the 12 gods. As divinity continues to gather within a relic, you will realize, from observing the changes that occur upon the divine avatars, that that life is divinity itself.
If you're a rune hunter, then you must know about the Primal War. After all, the runes you're looking for were prepared by the 12 gods for that battle. This is just a theory, but I believe their avatars that can be materialized with relics are also one of the preparations that the 12 gods made for the Primal War. You see, each of the avatars were created based on the 12 gods' powers. It is known that the avatars use their unique energy to communicate with the 12 gods. But it's up to you to wield their powers during times of need, because not even their avatars are able to use their energy indefinitely.
Do you think the 12 gods foresaw everything already? That the world will eventually have to face evil? Leitre said he decided to hand you the relic after witnessing you fight back the One. And now, the door will soon open up. You must continue forth with your avatar. This is the volition of the gods that has been prepared for you. Hopefully, this volition will become a turning point for you, one way or another. Well, it was a pleasure to have met you, Rune Hunter.
You'll find Saluto beyond this point. Once you leave this place, we will most likely never meet again. I ended up losing everyone dear to me, because I made the wrong choice. But you are different. You fought against evil until the very end. Even if you are driven to the cliff's edge, never forget that you are a child of the 12 gods, one who deserves to wield a relic.
A story about the Chaos statue? Sure, that's not a problem, but does that mean what I say is going to be published in a magazine? Ugh, I suddenly feel a lot of pressure. What should I say? So that... Don't stare at me like that! On paper. I'll write it on paper and give it to you.